So here we are in the garage. We're taking a look at the Motherland, T-54 Motherland. Some people might know it as the T-54 first prototype. It's a good tank. It's got cool camo. I mean, I like how it looks with the red, white, and black all camoed up. It's got some cool emblems, cool inscriptions. Change them around if you like. I like how it came pretty much stock. I added some inscriptions to the side, and I added the mom tattoo to the side, just to see what that would look like. Yeah, it's a pretty good looking tank. So, if you compare this to the T-44, it's got increased armor and hit points, but it's got less mobility than the T-44 and less speed. It does make up for the lack of speed with how thick the front armor is. If your enemies don't have about 175 millimeter penetration on their gun, it's going to bounce most of them. There are a few exceptions with premium rounds and such like that, but when this tank is top tier, it can be extremely dangerous. The front plate has 120 millimeter thickness, and when angled, I mean, you can increase the thickness well angled up to over 230 millimeters of penetration. So, I mean, you can make it hard for some, tier 9 tanks to penetrate you from the front when angled well. We'll get into the turret armor in a little bit. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty average on the mobility and everything like that. Here we are. We're looking at the penetration of the gun. The standard rounds have 183 millimeters of penetration, which, like I said, if you're top tier shooting standard rounds at tier 6, tier 7 vehicles, most of the time you can penetrate them from the front. I mean, Tigers, Tiger 2s, VKs, T-32s, you can penetrate from the front. With the premium rounds, you'll have even more. Some of them, it's just like cutting through butter. The rate of fire is fast. I mean, you don't need the gun rammer on it. I traded it out, 7.5 rounds a minute. The aiming time is only 2.4 seconds, so you can go through those rounds, quick and be on target every time. The dispersion on this gun is 0.36. I mean, I'm loving it. So as you can see here, I'm running camo and binos. I decided to change it up just to see how this thing can do at a distance. We'll talk about that a little bit later during a replay. And yeah, other than that, I'm delightfully surprised with how well this tank can do. I mean, even going up against tier 9s, if you're angled properly, you're going to bounce rounds. So yeah, like I said, the frontal armor is 120 millimeters on the hull, and the sides are both 90 millimeters. You can only have 34 rounds in this tank. Kind of depressing. I'll hit on that later as well. The rear of the tank, 45 millimeters. Light tanks can shoot into your engine, no problem. And let's see, the front of the turret has 180 millimeters of protection. The sides are 120 and the back is 75. One thing I have found is getting shot from the front. If you have a tier 9 or tier 10 tank, they'll go through the front of that turret and they will ammo rack you just really quick. I've also noticed that if they go through your hull in the front, they'll kill your driver just about every time. In the last replay on this, you'll see that my driver gets killed twice. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, it can go 44 kph. It's quick. It has decent acceleration getting up to that speed. The turret rotation and chassis rotation is both good. The view range is 360, and when you put on the binoculars, it bumps it up to 400. The camouflage, and this is why I wanted to try bush sniping, I noticed it's above average. So with that in mind, I decided to try a different approach. So anyway, here in a moment we're going to get into the first replay. Today we're playing on Redshire. We're in the T-54 Motherland tank, Some of you may know it as the T-54 first prototype. It's Tier 8 premium medium tank. Currently going on right now, there's missions to get it. If you do the ops over the course of the month, you can get it for free. I went ahead and bought it so that way I could do a review video on it and everything like that. In this video, I decided to take off the vertical stabilizers and the gun rammer and trade that out for the binoculars and the camouflage. So we're going to see how this tank can do as a bush sniper. So right now we've got a pretty even split on our tanks. We've got a couple heavies going to the zero line, medium up the middle, tank destroyer over with the heavies, and then we got a couple people staying back. We've got two heavies also off to our right, and it looks like a pretty even split. So we're going to sit up here, we're going to park on top of this hill, we're going to put this bush right here on our left side, and we're going to hope to get a couple spots and get some flanking shots on some enemies and see how this does as a bush sniper. So our binos and our camo are active. We see that VK over there, and he's poking out from behind the building, so we're going to put some shots into him. The first shot hits. It's a good hit, and he's moving back and forth. And we're going to put another one into him, putting it forward. We got the kill on him. We're approximately 2 minutes in, and we've already gotten a kill and 2 hits. We've got another medium up here, T-44, a couple heavies, and that T-29, he's got some good armor on the side of his turret compared to our gun. So it's going to be hard to pin the side of his turret. So we got a Jackson up here, we put a round into him. We roll for under average damage for 227. Not far under average, but just a little under. We haven't been detected yet, and we've gotten 3 penetrating shots so far. So now we got a medium in front of us. He's 300 meters away, so we're going to get detected here when we fire, so I'm going to try to track him. We track him, we didn't do any damage, but we still tracked him. So the reload on this is pretty good, so we're going to get a new angle and only expose our turret, hopefully. And there we go. We're going to do a snapshot on him, and that's a good hit. We're still detected, so we're going to get behind there, not be seen, and we're going to pull up and we're going to park and let our binos and our camo activate again and hopefully get a couple more shots off. So looking at what's going on the map here, we got 2 tank destroyers in the JK0 area that are just demolishing our team that went over to the zero line. That heavy tank's about to die. We see this T-44 in the middle, probably spotting for the enemies, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to take him out. And there's one good shot. Too bad we didn't track him there. That would have been wonderful. And he's just going to keep backing up, so we're going to try to take shots on other tanks. We're at 5 hits, 1 kill, 2 crits, and 3 spotted targets hit, so that's some good assist damage. So I decided to push up on this side because our other side is pretty much overran, and we're going to try to flank this side now. Their 2 big tank destroyers are way back in that bottom corner, so we're just going to go up here, and we see this medium, so we're going to try to keep our angle on our armor so he can't penetrate, and we're just going to keep pushing on him and put some rounds into him. There's a tank destroyer back here behind him in the tree line behind the rocks. So once we take care of him, we're going to try to move forward and get him. He is behind the rocks. It's a slim angle, but the gun on this is accurate. The dispersion is wonderful on this gun. So we put one into him. We're going to keep our armor angled, and we're going to push up on him. As we're pushing up on him, we're also going to keep that rock between us. He's shooting at our guys on the hill, which are also shooting him, and he just gets decimated. So that's one more tank out of the way. Now we're up by 1 tank. Our other side did get taken out pretty dang easy, so we're going to keep pushing forward over here. I'm hoping to spot the artillery down in this JK12 area. Unfortunately, he's not down here. I will poke over this hill because the low profile on this tank, you can't see over hills that easy. I will push over just in case he is behind it, but he wasn't behind it. So there are now 2 tanks behind us on the kill. It's 8-6. There's a heavy in the middle. It's that T-29 again. We're going to try some more shots on him. Shouldn't have done it because the penetration, like I said on this gun, against side turret on a T-29 is not great. It is showing orange, but it's just not enough. So I bounce 2 more rounds, and then I decide I'm going to get a different angle. We see the Black Prince up here, and he's back at their spawn, and he's just kind of sniping. We see the T-29. This time we get the back of him, and we're going to put one in him, and we're going to finish him off. It's only 7 damage, but that's another gun out of the fight. The T-32 up here, he also camped the base, and we're going to try to track this guy so our team can take him out fairly quick. So we fire, we do track him, and we get detected. We were a little bit too close. So we're going to back down, we're going to get unspotted, we're going to get some more assisted damage, and we're going to try a different angle on this hill. And there's that Black Prince. He's poking out, he's looking for us, he knows we're over here somewhere, he doesn't know exactly where, but then we fire, and I believe he just backs up. Yeah, he backs up behind the building because we were not detected. Should have stayed there and just kept my camo up, but I decided to keep pushing up. So as we're pushing up, we do get detected. T-32 or that tank destroyer detected us. He just popped up for the first time that I noticed. He's at 75% life, so he's now priority. He did take one big shot there, and as we go to look for him, he gets decimated. So we're going to go back to the T-32, try to track him. We don't track him. We do bounce around off the Black Prince, and now the heavy tank is destroyed. So the Black Prince now, we got a pretty good turret armor for his gun, so we're going to pull up, take a snapshot, bounce a shot as well, and we're just going to try to do this a couple more times. He's pulling back behind the building again. His track absorbed that shot, so nothing I can do about that, except for keep pushing. And there's their artillery, so I'm going to snapshot him. We're going to take a little over half his health. We rolled a little above average. And then we're going to reload, and then we're going to aim in, and we're going to finish him off, because he is aiming at us. And if we would have stayed parked, he probably would have zeroed in on us and got us with a big round. So looking at the map here, it looks like we're closing in, and the only tanks left are the 2 tank destroyers that were in a platoon. And they're both Borsigs, or mini waffles, whatever you guys decide to call them. So I decide I'm going to go up here and I'm going to try to get some more damage done to him. I'm on 4 kills. If I'm lucky, I can get a top gun. And as you know from the title of this video, I get a top gun. So as I'm rolling over, I think they're right behind this hill, but it's the wrong hill. They're further down behind the other hill. So I just decide to keep pushing. We've got a heavy tank that's trying to take a sniper position behind us, and we've got a tank destroyer down in the F8, F9 area, trying to get shots. So as we pull up, we notice this guy's just a one-shot kill. We're going to pull over, we're going to put one into him. He tracks us, so I'm going to repair that right away, and I'm going to use his carcass as cover from his buddy, the other Borsig. We're going to put another round into his turret, there we go, and then we're going to just keep hiding behind his buddy. He doesn't have the greatest traverse, so we're going to go around as he tries to flank us, and we're putting another one into him. And just at that time, my buddy hit him right before me, so I did end up getting the kill on him. So all in all, we got 14 hits, 6 kills, 5 criticals, and it was just an all-around good match. That's a good match for a medium. We ended up with 3,100 experience, the mastery badge 99%, a sniper medal, a top gun medal, and 2,800 damage, 2,500 assisted damage, and 1,300 damage blocked. I do round down on those, so as you can see, some of them are closer to 1,400 blocked and such like that. It was just a really good match. So 15 penetrations at 2,800 damage. I mean, that's staying pretty near the average. The mastery badge, I was happy to get that on this match, and the sniper. This gun is really accurate. The dispersion, it's just phenomenal for how you can play the tank. This tank can be played many different ways. Like I said, I was just trying this out for a couple matches with the camo and the binoculars, and as you see here, I got 25 shots fired and 24 of them were hits. Only 15 pinned though, because that heavy tank he wasn't getting damaged. We didn't take any damage that round, so we did get 120,000 silver on that match, which that's just wonderful if you can get that in a single match. We assisted for 2,500 damage. That's just how medium tanks play. That's what you're supposed to do. Over 3,000 experience is wonderful. And as you see here, I'm scrolling through all the enemies that I've, had anything to do with, whether it was killing them, spotting them, how much damage I'd done to them, and everything like that. And a lot of them, it was near the average on damage. Some of them were a little under. Not a big deal. But anyway, I do like this as a bush sniper. I do like playing up in your face as well. It all depends on the map. But with this being a crew trainer, I do believe I'm going to stick with the bush sniper setup and keep it going like that. You get Sixth Sense and you get Deadeye on it, and you can have some pretty good games. Well, with that in mind, I mean, I love this tank, the T-54 Motherland. I see why they call it a hero tank. It's got a cool skin and everything like that. But when you're doing near 3,000 damage and you're assisting 2,500 and you're blocking, 13 to 1,400, it's just wonderful. It's an all-around, all-use tank. You can rush enemies. You can hit them at a distance. Yeah, go out and. All right, and on to the second match. We're on Prokhorovka. We're again in the T-54 first prototype Motherland tank. On this, we're pretty much doing the same thing. We're going to try to be bush sniper. We're going to test the accuracy of the gun, and we're going to just see how well it does on this map. In the last map, we got Top Gun, which was good, but in this match, we're not going to go for kills. We're just going to see how we can do damage-wise and on the lengthier shots of 400 and 500 meters out. So as we look here, we're starting at the top. It's a tier 9 match, so I'm not going to be quite as aggressive. The armor on this tank, when you get aggressive against tier 9 and tier 10s, doesn't hold up very well. Pretty much, this tank, it's a T-44, but it has increased armor, but you're losing mobility and speed. That is if you compare it to the T-44. Anyway, we're going to go off to the right over here. We're going to get up on this ledge and try to get behind a bush and snipe over the middle a little bit. So our light tanks are up in the middle, and they're detecting people, which is fantastic. They're not trying to rush suicide themselves. And we get a lot of informative information here. Right here we see that most of their tanks are going to go over to the mountain side of the map, over near the river and the lake. So getting up here shouldn't be an issue for us. We shouldn't be a high priority target for anybody that is over here. But we need to take care of that light tank because, well, he'll spot us out, and with us being up here, we can take shots from all angles. So we got our camo and our binos activated, and we're just trying to wait for this guy to pop out. And there he pops out, but we still get detected. Apparently we were above that bush to where it wasn't giving us any additional camo. We're going to back up and wait for our detected status to go away, and the light tank is dead. That's good. So we're going to push up a little bit further here now, so that way nobody thinks that we're still in that bush. And we're going to try to get some side shots. Now, talking about the T-54 Motherland, like I said, it's the first prototype. It's the same thing. It's just the Motherland has the cool skin. We compared it to the T-44. Not a whole lot of difference there. A lot of people have been comparing it to the Type 59. But if you're comparing it to the Type 59, the Motherland is going to have reduced penetration on the gun. It's going to have an increased upper hull plate, and you get full matchmaking where the Type 59 doesn't. You're also going to have reduced turret armor. So, with that being said, we're over here, and we got side shots on this IS. So we're going to park behind this bush, and we're going to let our camo and binos pop up again. And we're going to start popping shots. We already got one into the side of his turret, which was a good pin. And we got another one there. And he's just exposing the very top of his tank, which is not a very good angle. But we're going to wait for him, and we bounce that round off the top of him. And we're just going to wait till his angle isn't as good. but it looks like he's going to get taken out fairly quickly here by that medium, and he does. So now we're going to push forward here, get a different ridge line. We're just going to continue pushing up near their flag because they're all over on the mountain. They all decided they wanted to be snipers. We're going to try to shoot this VK, and our round is just not going to go near it, not even a bounce or anything. We didn't even get close to him. The dispersion on this gun is actually very good, but once in a while you do get the shots that don't want to go onto the target. So their artillery's spotted, he's about to die. And then we see a Tiger 2, and we hit him in the track, which is good. We're going to try to get an angle on this hill here to where only our turret is exposed, because with our lower plate showing at that angle, we do not have a lot of armor. Other tanks will be able to pin us. Alright, so we got detected, and oh, there's an angle right there. It's a really slim one with the gun depression on it. Well, gun depression on this line, this nation tanks, is not good at all. If you complain about it, don't play these tanks. The gun depression is not good at all. But if you get an angle like this, you can see I'm not even aiming in. I'm just auto-locking, and I'm putting rounds into this Tiger 2 just over and over and over. And we finally catch him on fire, and we burn him to death. And we're up by 6 tanks. Correction, we are now up by 5 tanks because one of them just died. So we're going to push forward here, knowing where they're at. We're going to sit on the flag, and we're going to hope we detect some people and get some shots off while we cap the base. So there's a Tier 9 tank destroyer up there, and he is very dangerous. He can hit us with 2 to 3 shots and kill us, depending on his damage rolls. So we're going to try to keep him in place and put rounds into him. Unfortunately, we're not tracking, and now he's backing up, but he's showing us his sides, so that's wonderful. And their friendly does track him, and so we're just going to keep laying rounds into him as long as he's tracked there. We're doing some decent damage. We're just laying into him, and he's dead now. So like I said, we're going to push up, and we're going to park on the flag. And knowing that there's only 4 enemies left, and 3 of them are detected right now, correction, 3 enemies alive and 2 of them are detected, we know that 2 of them are on the mountain and 1 of them's in the little village in the center. So we're going to try to pop some shots at the C-75. Now, the penetration on this gun isn't very good at all, so unless we get side shots and good rolls, we're not going to penetrate his side. There was a little lag right there on that shot, and it looked like it missed, but it ended up hitting him in the truck. Twice, actually. So now he's on the side profile, and he's tracked, and we're just going to keep trying to put rounds into him. But we cannot penetrate his side, and I mean, he was just slightly angled, not even angled that well. So we're just going to try to keep him tracked for our teammates, and this is my last regular round. So all I have after this is 10 premium shells. As I was talking about in the clip before, this tank does not get very many rounds. I wish they would bump it up to a 50. I hope they do in the future. But we're shooting premium rounds. They lose their penetration over distance, so right now it's effectively like shooting a regular round. We got the side of his turret, so we're going to try to put one in it. The rounds are just not going through. It's either that or I'm just barely missing the target. And with that being said, we're just going to sit here and cap while we're trying to fire rounds. I think we might land 1 damaging shot on him, and that's it. I mean, but just barely missing it. So yeah, like I said, the dispersion isn't horrible on this tank, but we are shooting 500 meters away. I mean, he's bouncing between 490 and 510, and I mean, we were still pretty on. So as you see here, this match gave us almost 3,500 damage, just over 1,000 assisted. We only had to block 1 shot, which is good. And I mean, we got the Invader medal. I mean, that's phenomenal. I love getting medals like that. There's 90,000 silver earned on this. So yeah, with that in mind, and everything I've brought to your attention, it's up to you whether you want to buy it, earn it for free. Either way, go